How is your faith being affected by October 7th? Has it become more difficult? Or is something else going on? I'd like you to hear what Liev Schreiber, the actor, has to say about this. I got a special connection to Liev since he performed in the Bielski Brothers, were the youngest of the Bielski Brothers in the movie Defiance. Lives right here in Palm Beach. Take a look at how October 7th impacted his faith in the most beautiful way.
I've never really considered myself a big Jew. I grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood in New York City. My mother took me to the Hare Krishna temple on 53rd Street for free lunch every Sundays. I'd probably been exposed to more Hinduism than Judaism by the time I was old enough to be bar mitzvah. But a couple of weeks after October 7th, I was in a pretty dark place. And a friend gave me a quote from the Kutzker Rebbe that I think is just the most beautiful distillation of being Jewish. There is nothing so whole as a broken heart. My Jewish experience began with my grandfather. My grandfather, Alex, wasn't exactly the gold standard of Jewishness either. He wasn't particularly observant. He didn't speak Hebrew, and worst of all, he loved hockey. But every spring, he would have a Seder, and my entire fractious family would gather in his tiny apartment in Washington Place in New York City. I remember my brothers and I fighting over the afikoman as we reminded ourselves of the bittersweet flavor of being Jewish. I always loved that the whole thing kicked off with an argument. A rabbinical debate about God's fingers and how many plagues were in each hand. And then the questions asked by a child. I know it sounds weird, but I think that's what I love most about being Jewish. That questions and debate are at the heart of Jewish thinking. As if truth and its constant need for calibration were a matter of life and death, because it is. It's what binds us all together. In fact, it's the meaning of the name Israel. To wrestle with God, to question, to wrestle with contradiction, wrestle with the contradiction and the complexity of our lives to arrive at a fuller definition of what it is to be a human being. Not just a Jew, a human being. To push back against ignorance, bigotry, and injustice in order to fix what is broken in our world. That's our core value. Tikkun Olam. Each and every one of us took the time to remind ourselves of the goodness and the light that is inherent in who we are.
As Liev describes his most beautiful awakening of faith, I've never heard him speak like that. I too am noticing a phenomenon amongst my fellow Jews who are experiencing this mysterious arousal of faith after October 7th, connecting with their God, connecting with their people, connecting with Israel in ways that they never dreamed possible. This is in fact the theme of Hanukkah. Hanukkah, we're just ending the festival of Hanukkah, the festival of lights. You know, Hanukkah is all about the oil. What is oil? Oil is produced from the beautiful olive, but only after it's crushed, after it's subjected to the intense pressure of the crushing millstone. Only then can the beautiful oil flow from that olive. And I think there's a profound message over here that only after we're crushed, only after we struggle, are we able to find our flow? Are we able to find our faith, to find the beauty? The light can only be discovered after the greatest of darkness. You know, after night comes day, and summer comes only after the winter. Your healthy body comes after you've struggled in the gym. Such is life, that the oil only flows after the millstone is crushing it. We Jews, we've been crushed. We have so many questions. We don't understand, but I believe that it's the Hanukkah story that tells us to hold on tight with every fiber of our being, even if we don't know the answers to all the questions. Because to be a Jew means to struggle, to wrestle with God. Faith is having courage to take the first step, even if you can't see the whole staircase. And remember that in English, the word faith is a noun, but in Hebrew, faith is emunah, which is a verb. It is a perpetual struggle. Don't give up just because things are challenging. In fact, the darkest of night will lead us to the brightest of days. Just hold on and don't jump ship before the light erupts within us.